Hey guys, this is Shannon with Nearly Organic Noshing, and I just wanted to show you my setup for our baby chicks. This is just a water trough, like a horse water trough. We have used this water trough for absolutely everything. We fill it up in the summer with water, and the dogs like to play in it, swim in it, give the dogs bath in it. I've had baby chicks in it, I've had kittens in it, I've had puppies in it, you name it. We have used this water trough. So this is something that we have bought many years ago and have used for numerous animals and activities. So this works really well. This is just an old piece of hardware cloth. Chris made this probably about 3 years ago or so, and he had a scrap piece of hardware cloth and just built a frame, just a simple frame, and then he put these little pieces on the end so it kind of catches on the edge and it can't go anywhere. So like Macy, she was just sticking her nose up there. The dogs can't come and slide the top off, or if a cat lands on top, it's not going to take the lid off. It's kind of wedged on there, but it's simple just to lift off. I do keep a light. This is not the ideal temperature gauge right here that I have. It's a little over 80 degrees on this end, and I do put the temperature gauge right under the light because I wanted it the hottest part of the little brooder area, and so I know how hot in there. In the past, I have used a thermometer that was probes that hung down from the top. I could just run through the wires and let them hang down in different sections. So if any temperature got too high or too low, it would send an alert to me. But that one broke, and I have not gone out and purchased another one. And it was just a meat temperature probe, but you can have presets on it. I have their food and water up on blocks, so you'll have to ignore the radio that is going very loud out there. Chris just got a new roof for his general. What? I was in the middle of recording a video and all of a sudden this music is blaring. Alright. That's pretty loud. Yes, it is. No one will hear what I'm saying. Alright, I didn't mean to interrupt the video. Give me like 3 minutes and I'll be done. What? Give me like 3 minutes and I'll be done. Okay, you'll have to ignore that. Chris was testing out his new roof for his general and it got super loud. Where was I? Oh, I have a cardboard box down here with just a piece of wood on top. They can hop up there and roost if they want, and if they want to get closer to the light. I am always very fearful of fire. I like these kind of lights because I can just set them flat. The lights in here, I can just set it flat right there, and it has the barrier of the mesh screen, but it also has a clamp. So if I need the light to go further down in there, I clamp it in here and angle it exactly. You know, it's adjustable at angles, so I can angle it where I want to go. But what I also do is I put a knot in the cord and put it on the outside, and then I keep other lights back here so that if it gets too cool, I can add a second light. I can add one light down low and one light up high over here so that the chicks have a choice of where they want to go. If they want to go under the light that's inside and lower and warmer, they can get under there, or they can come over here where it's not so warm, a little bit cooler, and they can hang out there. But with having these things right here on the end, I clamp it onto the knot so there's no way the light can fall all the way in and land in the shavings, and it may not be able to start a fire, but that is my fear, is that the heat lamp could fall in, lay on the shavings, and start a fire. So this is just my precaution to keep the lamp off the wood shavings. And like I said, I have my little thermometer here under the hottest part, and that way I can keep a close eye on the temperature. These guys are a couple weeks old now, so they are don't need it quite so warm, and I'm slowly cooling it off, and during the day I'm opening the lid and letting it get cooler in there. This is on our screened porch, so It keeps the chicks out of my house, which is a definite plus. And we're in Florida, so the temperatures are really nice right now. It is super breezy, but by having them up here on the porch and having the solid sides of this is protecting them from the wind. Now for insulation at night and when it's colder, when I first got them the temperature was much cooler, I have these pieces of styrofoam and they run lengthwise on here and they fit perfectly. And I just lay them on here, and then I have a rug under here that fits over the top of everything just so. And it's a heavy rug, so it's not going to blow off. It would take some serious wind to get up underneath that and blow it off the top. And then on either side of the light, because I'll move the light kind of towards the middle, and on either side I have a folded towel with a piece of cut square styrofoam that just fits right on either side of the light. It'll fill up this corner and that corner if I feel that it warrants having that extra bit of insulation. I do use either sawdust or wood shavings down in the bottom of this because it makes cleanup super simple, and it's, you know, just super absorbent. It's what I use in my coop, it's what I use in my run. And I just use a dustpan and little mini broom and scoop everything up, and I either put it in a paper bag and go drop it in our burn barrel and burn it and add it into the ashes to go into the garden or the compost pile or the chickens' little dust bath area. I put wood ash in that area for them to dust bathe in, you know, or I can just go throw it right into the compost pile. But I just bag it and take it out, and that way nothing goes to waste. It's all used for something. And you can see they're hanging out here in the middle. They're not hanging right under the light, so they're not cool. You know, they're plenty warm enough. Down here I just have a couple of pieces of wood that they can climb up on and roost. And as they get a little bigger, I'll get pieces that I can wedge in here to give them a little bit more height they can climb up on. Right now this is just something for them to climb up, get up out of the sawdust, and just kind of adventure and play on. And there is this little one here that they'll get up and they sit up there. It's kind of like wedged in the corner, and the box stabilizes it so they can get up there and hang out. So this is the beginning baby chicks, and I just keep the feed and the sawdust or wood shavings here, and it's easy just to go ahead and change it out. Right next to it I have a dog crate, and this is we have like 4 of them, all-purpose dog crate. This is one of the biggest ones that we have, and use it for sick chicks. We use it for growing out the chicks. And I have the bag right there with all of the hardware that goes to it. Honestly, I don't bother putting the hardware in because it's easier to clean out if I can just lift the lid off and get to whatever and ignore that. We just changed out our bathroom sink, and it hasn't made it out any further than the back porch. But this is the kind of, I guess, a little bit out of a grow-up container. I can run right through the sides, the openings. I run roost bars through, so they can hop up and roost at night. And then I cover the whole bottom in wood shavings, and when it's time to clean out, I just pop the top off. I just lift the whole top up and clean it all out, and then put the top back on. And when these guys, in about 2 weeks, I'm going to be going and getting more chicks, and these guys will probably move to this one. And then we have, it's a mess out there. I've got tons and tons of cardboard that I need to burn, but it's just too windy today. But out here, this whole area, let me see if my finger get here, this whole area back here is a huge, big dog pen or animal pen, whatever we need it for. It's a pen that's separate from the rest of our yard, that it's all completely fenced, that the chicks can go into. We're going to section it out a little bit better to contain them. And when they get bigger, they'll be able to go out there for fresh air and to run around when they're not quite big enough to go in with the big girls that are out in the field next to the garden. So these guys are, let me think, 2 of them are about 2.5 weeks old, and the other 2 are 3.5 weeks old. There's 2 black sex links and 2 barred rocks. And I want some variety, so I'm going to be going to something called Chicken Days at the Purple Gator. That's about 45 minutes away from here in about 2 weeks. And I probably will get some golden comets, Maybe a couple of leghorns or some Easter eggers. I would just love to have a little bit of variety with the chickens that I have and have some really pretty eggs, because we don't eat these guys. We just have them for eggs and the enjoyment of having chicks. But I just thought I would show you how I have my setup. And, you know, something like a water trough is just reusable for everything. I cannot even tell you how many ways we have reused a water trough. And when the chicks get bigger, it gets cleaned out, it gets put up until whatever we need it for. The same thing with the dog pens. I just had a sick chicken in this, and so I go in and I'll have to scrub it out really well before any more chicks go into it, to make sure it's all clean for them. But I just thought I would show you our setup. This works really well. It's on our deck. It's right outside the house. It's blocked from the wind. There's an outlet right there so I can plug in heat lamps, whatever I need. And everything is outside. I know up north this probably is not as feasible because it's so much colder for you guys, and they probably, I guess, would get just too cold. But for us in Florida, this works. And I just thought I would share how we do it here. Okay, guys, I hope this helps and that you're having a great day.